Well, hello and welcome to the first ever edition of what is up to now being named as Around the Pool, a Liverpool-related podcast and blog with input and possible discussions from other clubs. I'm Nick and I'm a Liverpool fan, and joining me today is our resident mank, Sam. Don't worry, he's a City fan. Joel may add some other ridiculous comments on the side. Apologies for the poor quality. We'll hope to improve everything eventually as we go along, but again, I'm not going to spend loads of money before we even get properly started. We're going to try and upload this onto YouTube, so if you want to subscribe, please do. Podcasts on YouTube, people listen to music, so we'll just go from there. The first thing we're going to talk about today is Liverpool 0, West Brom 2 from last Monday. So we'll start with you, Sam. What did you think of the game?
Well, I thought Liverpool had chances, but as they've done for most of the season, there's not really been clear-cut chances, and they're not taking advantage of the chances that they've created. They were missing Sturridge. I think Suarez was feeding on scraps up front on his own, but with Suarez he needs several clear opportunities to score one at the moment. I don't know what that's all about, but he's not the most clinical of strikers, but I thought West Brom were clinical, and Lukaku was very impressive.
When he came on.
Impressive.
Yeah, when he came on.
Yeah, definitely the most
game.
impressive. I've seen him a couple of times. He's been very good. Can't understand why he can't get a look in at Chelsea, but he's been fantastic at West Brom, and he's fantastic again. I thought Aga was very uncertain against him, how to defend against Lukaku. It was his big, strong unit.
Right. So people have been saying it, blaming Rodgers for the lack of getting a result against West Brom, but what can he do when we're not taking the chances? He can't score the goals himself.
No,
so I don't think it was. There was chance after chance after chance. So tactically, it was probably right. It's just the fact that we couldn't score.
Well, it's the thing, you need to, especially with Liverpool this year, hoping for the top 4 place. You need that consistency to get into the top 4.
Ben Foster, he had the game of his life. Oh, I thought he had the game of his life anyway.
Ben Foster, for me, he's a very good keeper. He's very, very capable, but he's not the most consistent keeper in the world, is he? But I thought, his goal was peppered a bit in the first half, but the saves were mostly comfortable. I didn't think he was in too much trouble, really.
So, who do you think was the man of the match in the game?
Well, I think Lukaku came on and really just transformed the game, because West Brom were struggling at that point, but he seemed to give them a bit of a lift. I don't know why.
Give them a chance to score, which eventually they did.
Yeah.
And during the second shot of the game, I was going to give it to Ben Foster because I think he was just, he's just an unbelievable game. The save he made from Gerrard, any other keeper, well, I say any other keeper, 9 times out of 10, Gerrard, that ball's going in. That is a certain goal.
Yeah.
But for Liverpool, I'm actually going to say Stuart Down was supposed to be Liverpool's best player. He was running down the wing, just creating stuff, which is surprising after a lot of people don't like Stuart Downing, but in the past few weeks he's definitely improved a lot as a player, and he's proven himself to be a worthwhile purchase. Well, not for 20 million, but there's no point selling him, is there?
It's difficult, isn't it, when you go to a club like Liverpool and you're not playing well. And last year he didn't create any chances, he didn't score any goals. I think £20 million.
We didn't take chances last year though. He did create stuff, but he created Liverpool's most chances. It's just the fact that Andy Carroll and Suarez weren't putting them in.
Yeah.
And he's not created much this year, but I guess in assist wise, but creation, like chances, he's still probably on about the same. So do you think 4th place is out of reach for Liverpool now?
As I say, I think you need that consistency if you're challenging for Europe. The teams that do get into Europe, even when they're playing badly, they get results. They grind out results.
Gareth Bale does it for Tottenham.
Exactly.
He did it again in the Europa League last night. He got 2 free kicks and he's won the game in the last minute. And
that's what you need, though, isn't it? You need a player who can do a bit of magic and win a game for you, even if you're playing badly.
Well, personally, it's the first time I've ever wanted to leave a game early. Usually I'd like to stay to the end, but I was there and I was just thought, and after the second goal winning, I was like, I can't be bothered with this anymore. It was just heartbreaking, really, because I don't think we deserved to lose.
No.
But I stayed.
it's crazy because Liverpool under Rodgers, they're playing good football. I think it's exciting the fans more so than when
Dalglish was in charge. But people are still saying Dalglish got us to two cup finals. But again, to them, before Dalglish, we hadn't had a cup run since 2007 when we got to the Champions League final. So Brendan Rodgers isn't the first manager not to. Usually we've got to the third and fourth round, which is what we've done this year. So really, last season the cups have not been great, but they've not been a disaster as other managers haven't been able to get us there in the first place anyway. Surely
the priority for Liverpool now is to finish higher in the table, because it's embarrassing for a club like Liverpool to be finishing 7th.
We need to get in front of the Everton. Hopefully we might get an Everton fan on here at some point in the future. To discuss how he thinks they're doing, because they're doing pretty well. But we'll speak to him about how he thinks about David Moyes, because he's not going to sign a new contract by the looks of things. But again, that's a different matter. We're here to talk about Liverpool today, and possibly we'll talk about Manchester City for you later. But you didn't get on very well at the weekend against Southampton.
I don't need to talk about that.
So it's not all embarrassing. Although on aggregate, if you're talking about that, we lost 5-0 to West Brom this year. But we did lose to West Brom 1-0 at home last year, so it's not the first time they beat us at home.
They're a team on the up as well.
They were on a bit of bad form, but again, everyone thought we were going to win, and I think when people think we're going to win, we just don't. Moving on to Liverpool versus Zenit St. Petersburg, which happened last night as we're recording on a Friday. We lost 2-0 again, second 2-0 loss of the week. You've seen the second half, didn't you, Sam?
I saw the second. Missed the first half.
The first half wasn't great. Suarez possibly should have scored about 2 or 3 goals. They had a couple of chances. Reina was very, very good in goal. I just think maybe a 0-0 would have been a better result, and if we could have held on or even got that vital away goal through Luis Suarez, and that would have been a lot better going into the second leg. But it's not over. I don't think.
No.
It's going to be tough because they are a good side, a good European side. They were in the Champions League earlier this year. Came third in the group, which is why we're playing them now. So what did you think about what you've seen in the second half of the game?
I think 0-0, from what I saw, probably would have been a fair result, but it took that bit of class really from a player who cost a lot of money for Zenit St. Petersburg, and there was no stopping that. I don't think a goalkeeper in the world would save that. But it's the same old story, Liverpool did have chances, especially the one where Downing sort of cut in on his left foot and then left it for Suarez, and he missed an open goal.
Suarez just took it off him basically. But that should have gone in, as well as when he did that flick like as Henderson did against West Brom. Maybe it's time to just make sure he gets the ball in the net instead of trying to do fancy flicks and trying to score that way.
Exactly.
I'm not going to slate Luis Suarez that much, because he's been an absolute revelation for us this year. He's carried the team a lot. He's second top scorer in the Premier League, so he's not going to score every game, but again, he possibly could have contributed a bit more. Maybe he's tired. I don't know. Sturridge isn't playing. It's a bit of a shame that Sturridge has become such a big part of the club already, and we've only had him for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but it's not all doom and gloom, because Zenit St. Petersburg, they're a big club. 2-0 can be overturned, I think, because as good as they are,
if they can score 2 at home, we can score 2 at home.
Exactly. I was impressed with them, but they're very expansive, and they are a very good attacking team. But because they like to throw bodies forward and they're very attacking, I think they're very poor defensively. Well, not poor, but I think they can be got at. I think goals can be scored against them.
We made quite a few chances and we were away. After playing on Monday and flying out to the deepest, darkest hole of Russia, we'll talk about the man of the match now. I couldn't really think of one. I was going to give it to Hulk for his wonder strike. Basically, that's just because of that strike. I'm just going to give it to him.
I said Hulk as well, I thought.
And for Liverpool, I was just going to give it to Pepe Reina for his performance. Really, he made quite a few good saves and kept us in the game until the defensive lapse for the second goal, and the 3 minutes of hell, basically, which happened after Hulk took the lead for him.
Yeah, again, I'd have to agree.
Right, moving on. Should Liverpool sign another striker in January?
No,
No.
I don't think so. I think Sturridge was a good signing, and I think what I've seen from Suarez and Sturridge up front, they do seem to understand each other, and I think they could be a very good partnership in time. But, they're very unfortunate, Liverpool, now that Sturridge is injured. I don't know how long he's injured for.
He's back for the weekend.
Back for the weekend.
Brendan confirmed that today.
So
hopefully we might. Well, we'll talk about score predictions later on, but hopefully we can score a goal against Swansea. Well, Suarez might score again. I'm not saying that's impossible.
Liverpool have been unfortunate with injuries. With the Barini was injured, wasn't he, early on?
I just don't understand why on Monday we didn't play it. We didn't just do a straight swap for him and Sturridge, because he's meant to be a centre forward. So I don't know why he didn't just do that. But
yeah.
So if we're not going to play Barini as centre forward, then I do believe we do need another striker. Who I don't know. So we need someone just who's going to be happy to be a sort of a bit part player who sort of sits on the bench, not going to start every game. Suarez and Sturridge and a bit like that.
Well,
you could get somebody youngish, but again, that's what FSG are all about, aren't they? They just want young players.
The obvious answer is Carroll, isn't it? I suppose. I mean, he has shown glimpses of being a very good player, but then again,
he's not done much at West Ham now, has he? He's scored twice, maybe 3 times. Right. Anyway, I don't. I like Andy Carroll for one reason only, and he scored that the winning goal in that FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. And that was a very, very good sight to be there. And although I didn't get tickets to the final, but we lost anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it was a very good day, and that was definitely worth £35 million.
I think but he could be a very good player. He just needs to play to his strengths. It's just that you do need to adapt the whole team to his style. I mean, you can't play passing football.
But that's not what Rodgers wants, does he? But again, we don't. When we go behind, I think we do struggle to get back into the game, because there's no urgency about the play. I don't think sometimes you need that. Although, saying that again, I guess if you just stick to what you know and you carry on doing it, eventually you will break them down, you will score. Yeah. I've got no problems with Brendan Rodgers. I like Brendan Rodgers. I think he's not doing a bad job under the circumstances. I don't think he's doing much worse than we were last season, and the season before we'd spent 100 million on players, whereas he's spent about 30, but he has sold a couple of players as well to earn that, because obviously our owners don't want to splash the cash.
It'll take time though. I mean, it'll take time for Liverpool to get back, if they ever do, I suppose you have to say, but if they do get back, it'll take time for them to get the players of the standing that they had.
It's just a worry if we don't start getting back in, start getting closer to the top four, whether our top players will leave. I think
you need
Bayern Munich looking at Suarez, aren't they? I don't think he'll go this season, but maybe next season if we're not in the Champions League again, it could be a see you later to Luis Suarez. But I wouldn't blame him, to be honest with you, because he's possibly in the top 5 players in the world. Maybe I'm just saying that because I'm a fan, but yeah, I'd probably put him in there.
Could be difficult, because there will be bigger clubs in Europe with more money that will be knocking on the door. So you never know. Is the club loyalty anymore?
Well, we talk about club loyalty. We'll move on to our quick last topic before the weekly score predictions. Jamie Carragher has announced his retirement at the end of the season. How easy is it going to be to replace Jamie Carragher? And if so, I want one name of somebody who you think could replace him. Who would be available to Liverpool and would be willing to move clubs.
It's very difficult. I mean, I don't know what Liverpool's youth scheme is like anymore. I don't know if they've got the next Jamie Carragher.
We've got Wisdom and Kelly, but they're sort of playing right back. Whether they'll get moved into centre back, I don't know. But none of them I think they were both brought in from. They're not from Liverpool, I don't think, anyway.
They need a leader, don't they? They need someone who's experienced and someone that's
organised, good organising the defence. Yeah. Well then, again, we could do with a player who's experienced and got like 28-year-old, maybe 25, 26. Yeah. Somebody who's been around, rather than, because at the moment we're just buying 20-year-olds and I don't think a 20-year-old. But my one name, if I was going to buy someone, I don't think Spurs would want to sell him. He's only started 7 in the last 15 though. I think that's due to injuries as well. He's Stephen Colker. He is young, so he does fit into the.
Well, that's. I think you need.
Would Tottenham be willing to £15 million? Would they be willing to get rid of him for something like that? It's quite big money for a centre back. Yeah, obviously you've said Rodgers worked with him before at Swansea. I think he's a very good prospect. If not, then we'd probably end up with Ashley Williams, won't we? I'm guessing Rodgers likes him.
I think you need a solid back four. I think Liverpool now are chopping and changing at the back. It never seems to be the same back four, and I think they need.
Because Skirtle and Agger been out of form, haven't they? So he's brought Carragher back in. But Carragher's basically our best centre back at the minute, and he's 35. He's retiring at the end of the season. So if we're going on that, basically our best centre back, we're losing him, and we're not getting any money from him at the end of the season. Yeah. Also, if Zenit is interested in Skirtle, is true. Will we want to go? If he's not playing, maybe. I don't think Danny Aggo is going to want to go because he seems very loyal to the club. After getting there, walking around tattooed on his knuckles and stuff, and he seems to love the club. But whether money talks, and whether FSG will want to sell him to get some money.
Money talks, and he has said in the past that if I think he said if Barcelona came,
he'd go. Well, especially Pepe Reina, if Barcelona apparently after him. That's what his dad said, but hopefully it's not true because I'd love to keep Pepe Reina. If not, we're just going to have to find somebody else to come in and fill that massive gap by him. Although people have not said he's not been as good as he was, I still think he's a top keeper, and I wouldn't want to see him go.
No.
So we'll move on to the weekly score predictions. It's the FA Cup this weekend, so we might as well do that. There is one Premier League game though, which does involve Liverpool, and we're heading to Swansea. So we'll start with that game. Danny Sturridge is fit, so he should be back in the starting lineup. So we'll start with that one. What do you think?
I think Rodgers will be expecting some kind of response from his players, and I think 1-0 will probably be, in my opinion.
I'd take a 1-0. I'd take any result, any win. I think we definitely need to win, especially because they're now above us after losing on Monday. So they're only a point, but again that would put us 2 points back in front of them. So it's a must win really. And I've gone for a 2-1.
I can't see Liverpool making the same mistake twice.
We're going to go for a non-Premier League clash in the FA Cup. Luton, the only non-league side left in it, I think. Yep. Playing Millwall at home. I've gone for a 2-1 Millwall because I think Luton's time's up. I don't think we're going to get there that much.
I think they've been fantastic, Luton, to get as far as they have in the competition.
Norwich and Wolves in the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, crazy. I just think Millwall will have a bit too much for them. I think 2-0 Millwall, in my opinion.
So Arsenal at home to Blackburn. Blackburn have signed David Bentley back today on loan. I don't think he can play in the FA Cup.
Right, okay.
But I think that's where he started, or he was there at some point in his early career. I think so, or they might be part of his loan terms. I don't know, but he could start. But I don't think because it went through today, they might not be registered. I've gone for a 3-1 Arsenal win. Yeah,
I've said 3-0. I've not really kept up with Blackburn this season, but I have seen that they are quite low down in the table.
They've had 3 managers.
And they've had 3 managers.
Michael Appleton, whatever his name is, who was at Portsmouth at the start of the season. He's had 3 clubs this season, and he went to Blackpool for a bit.
That's crazy. I noticed on the news that one of the fans described it all as a bit of a circus, and it really does seem to be that way there.
Yeah, he might get to see a chicken again on the pitch. They remember that was a good funny moment. It's a bit like the Anfield cat. The Blackburn.
Crazy times at Blackburn.
So MK Dons against Barnsley, again another non-Premier League clash. So 2 non-Premier League teams will be in the next round. I've gone for a 2-2. So I'm guessing it's going to go to a replay. I don't really know how to. I don't really follow any of these teams. I don't think MK Dons are doing as well as they have been. Barnsley low down in the Championship, or I don't know. They might not be. Sorry if there's any Barnsley fans listening. I remember them beating Liverpool in the cup a few years ago.
Yeah, I've said 1-1.
I think Barnsley might sneak it if anyone's going to win.
Possibly, just higher up in the divisions. But MK Dons look a decent team actually. They've got that young Liverpoolian manager, and he looks, they do play quite nice football from what I've seen. So you never know.
So
they could carry on.
Oldham, the team who knocked us out of the competition in the last round against Everton. I hope Oldham win. because we lost, I can just see Everton absolutely just dominating them, just because that's just what they're like, and they're going to win 4-1.
Yeah,
I don't want them to win. Obviously, I want Oldham to win.
Once again, I think it's great to see these teams do so well in the cup. It's what the cup's all about, really. But I think Everton will just have too much for them. I think 2-0 Everton.
Chelsea against Brentford, which is a replay from the last round, which has been, I don't know, it's just been played now. I don't know why. But I've gone for 3-0 to Chelsea.
I've said 4-0. I mean, I saw the first tie, and Chelsea, they just seemed disinterested. They weren't bothered. I don't know if they thought they're thinking it'd be a bit of a walkover, but you can't do that.
Was it the weekend before the semi-final at Swansea for the Capital One Cup final?
I think so, yeah. Possibly.
Joel's phone's just gone off then. Sorry. So, yeah, but I think they might have had one eye on that, but they lost that anyway. Man City against Leeds, I've gone for a 3-1 win to your City boys. After last week's defeat, I think you want to stay in the cup, especially after probably the title hopes are unfortunately over.
I think so. I think, especially now that they're saying that Mancini's job's under threat.
I think he'll be gone at the end of the season, to be honest with you, if you don't win the league.
Possibly, but...
Or if you don't win anything, I think... I don't know, Mourinho might be looking for a new job, whereas... You might even end up with David Moyes.
You never know.
Because if he doesn't want a new contract... Apparently he's going to Chelsea.
Is that right?
But they're after him. I'm guessing they'll be replacing Benitez at the end of the season, because he's just not liked by the fans. But then, you never know, David Moyes just might be trying to say something to Bill Kenwright because he doesn't get any money, and he'd probably sell Fellaini and give him like £2 million, £3 million to replace Fellaini.
Well,
and put all the rest of the money in his back pocket. Anyway, Huddersfield against Wigan. This was a tough one because Wigan don't do very well in the cup, so I'm surprised they got this far. I did say they'll win 2-1, but it could go 2-1 the other way, I'm guessing, but I'm going to stick with 2-1 to Wigan.
Yeah, again, I thought, this will be quite a tight match, I'd imagine, but I think Wigan will just have a bit too much, and 1-0, I said.
On Monday, it's United against Reading.
Yeah.
I've said United are going to win 2-0. I don't think there's going to be a giant killing. I can't really see there being many giant killings in this round of the FA Cup. I think we've got a bit too far with them. You never know, Reading are coming to form. Maybe if Lafondra comes on and scores a couple of goals at the end.
Yeah, a couple of late goals.
Again, or maybe United are just not going to be that interested in the FA Cup anymore. They've got depends if they've sort of built a lead in the Premiership and Premier League, and they've got a draw at the Bernabeu.
It depends really. I mean, they might throw all of their eggs into one basket and go for the Premier League and maybe even the Champions League, because they've got a chance in that really. And I have said that United will win 3-0, but you just don't know. Reading, they've got a strong team. They play decent football now.
Yeah, they've started playing, haven't they, really?
Yeah.
Well, we've got Middlesbrough who finally get their tie on a Wednesday, because they're playing the teams that are having a replay at the weekend, Chelsea or Brentford. Because I said Chelsea were going to go through, I went for a 2-1 Chelsea win away to Middlesbrough.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see Brentford getting anything out of that game against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, but so I've said that Chelsea are likely to play Middlesbrough, and I think if they do, it'll be 2-0 Chelsea.
We have done this just in case. We've done it just in case Brentford do get through. But if Brentford get through, Middlesbrough fans, I doubt any of you will be listening, but you might be. You're gonna win 2-1. I think if you it's gonna be 2-1. Switch around if Brentford get through, and the home team are gonna win.
Yeah. For that sort of possibility, I've said that 2-0 Borough.
So you've just swapped me 2-0 around as well.
Yep.
Well, that's it for today. One person did turn up, so our panel was a bit low today. Hopefully, we'll get him back in the coming weeks. He's a Liverpool fan too, so we'll build that the Liverpool fan base up a bit here. So thanks for listening. Thanks, Sam, and we'll see you later.